Yo, what up guys, Bridge5D here, and in this video I want to take a look at my Dragon Slayer hard mode 10 team. Yes, this is the latest dungeon content that is out. Hard mode dungeons, a little bit different from the normal dungeons, and these bosses hit extremely hard. So due to the ongoing fusion right now for Supreme Elhain that requires to farm the dragon, you have the choice to farm it at level 20, level 25, or level hard 10. So I choose hard 10 for various reasons, because it drops mythical gear, it gives us a higher chance of getting legendary gear, and of course it reduces the chance of getting those rubbish rare gear that you don't even need. So also it reduces your chance of getting rare 6-star gear also. The dragon is one of the best ways for you to farm in the early game, and in the late game is no longer that relevant, but when a event like this requires to farm it, you have no choice but to go in there and hope that you get that good speed gear or replace some of your old gear with new mythical gear with a low chance, 1% 2% chance of getting it. So but it's still better to farm level 10 than to farm 25 if you can do it. Now a disclaimer out there before I show you my team: this dungeon hard mode 10, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for early, mid-game, or end-game players. It's for those end-game players who currently have the best stats, the best champions, or the good legendaries. So you have specific champions that you need to bring in here, whether you want to do it fast or slow. It requires specific champions. That means a frozen banshee will not serve you in this dungeon. You need those awesome champions, because this boss is still susceptible to poison damage. So that's good. A lot of the new bosses were changed in an unreasonable manner, but this dragon boss stayed true to the original damage taking mechanism of poison. That's the one that stayed. Others changed. Spider changed, and Fire Knight a little bit changed also, but dragon still takes a lot of poison damage. So that's the best way to still deal with this boss, and I'm gonna show you my team that can do it. So like I said, you can bring in rares. Even I've not seen anybody build an all epic team, right? For dragon. I'm sure it can be done with all the right stats, with all the right gear, but it's not just worth it. A lot of people are using legendaries for this boss, and I recommend you do the same. So any legendary champion you have that places 4 poisons at a go, that means whether they do it at a passive or as a active skill, go with it. If you want to have epic or other champions that place 2 poisons, you might want somebody like a Venomage. You might want to have somebody else supporting with another 2 poisons, and so on. So the best way to go through any dungeon wave, of course, is to nuke them either through a seer or through poison explosion. I am not using a poison explosion team right here. Well, I am in sort of a way, but I don't have a speed tuned poison explosion team that I have earlier in 25 that goes in wave 1, nuke them, goes in wave 2, nuke them, and then goes slow on the boss. I have a one that kind of goes in wave 1, kind of slowly go down, nuke them, finally goes in wave 2 slowly, then finally nukes them. What was I looking for in this team? I wasn't looking for a team that can do it in 40 seconds. I wasn't looking for a team that can do it in 20 seconds. I'm looking for a team that can do it with 1 man or 2 man, so we can always include food champions, 2-star, 3-star food champions along with that battle. So far, I think I saw Tyraku post a video where he used Elva and one other champion, I think is Gnishak, with high stats, high HP Gnishak, not just 30k HP Gnishak, who could survive some of those hits from the dragon boss, and of course finally take down the boss with all those excess poison that Gnishak is known to place on enemies. So that's why it's also on my team right here, although I do not have an Elva to run a 2-man team. Also note that this entire champions you're seeing here, I did not need to regear them for this video specifically. Now if I wanted to make an impressive dragon team that can do it sub 1 minute, I could go in there and regear all my champions, but I don't think, because I use them in other content, so I don't think it's right for me to regear them just for dragon. So that's why I had to bring in a revive champion, because yes, since they did not regear to meet the speed requirement, HP requirement, or defense requirement for this new dungeon bots, that's why I have a reviver right there. You could use this other champion. What's his face now? He's a new legendary champion who just joined raid, and I finally booked him. Python is who I'm looking for. I finally booked mine, but he's not yet ready to join my team yet. So he serves that purpose of a cleanser also. That's why I have Mitrella Life Bane, and a lot of people will be using Mitrella Life Bane for this purpose. You need a cleanser in that boss battle. You don't need a cleanser for the wave 1 or wave 2, but you need a cleanser for the boss battle itself. It's awesome that Mitrella can be your cleanser because she also drops 2 poison for the boss when she uses her A1. So she can add to the champions who is placing poison on the boss if you don't have enough poison coming in. So that's why she's in the team as a cleanser. Her increased defense does help a little bit. Her shield does help a little bit, but she is not like that essential. Any cleanser will do as long as you can clear all that poison that the boss places on you, because if you don't cleanse it, you'll take a lot of damage. I have this champion in the leader slot because I do not have enough speed on some of my champions. So putting a champion in the leader slot boost your speed a little bit. Now if you already have enough speed to do this battle, you might want to put an attack champion in the leader slot, somebody like a Xavier or Gnishak, to increase the attack that they're going to be dealing in the wave and also in the boss. Another awesome thing that what's her name, Mitrella, can bring to the wave content is her Hex. Hex debuff spreads the damage across all other allies, right? So if there's an ally in the, if an enemy, it spreads across other enemies. If there's an enemy in the wave content that does not have enough poison, maybe he just gets 2 poisons instead of 4 or 8 poison that you need to explode him. The excess damage from all other enemies that you're nuking that will have 6-10 poisons with Hex will spread to that last champion who does not have enough poison to be killed. So that's one way that at least having Hex can help in the wave content also. So I'll show you the team setups. Some people might set her not to even use her Hex, but I prefer for her to use her Hex in case I don't have enough nuking power for poisons for it to go down. Another champion I would highly recommend that you use in place of Xavier is, before we go into the run, I'm looking at all these champions, is a champion I've been building for a while and hoping for her to join my team, is the sister of Xavier, because they both do the same team, Eleanor. And currently what the raid community here says, she is much better than Xavier in terms of her animations and in terms of the fact that she does not really hit the enemies for her to do her poison explosion. She just stays from far and does it. So I think she also brings an HP bond to the boss, which can maybe add to a little bit of damage. So I will be building this champion eventually. Yes, eventually. She's currently waiting. She's waiting to be booked. That's why she's not in my team. This will help you, of course, if you're beating these stages at earlier levels, which require you to use affinity champions. And guess what? Even for stage 1, I had to use Xavier. For stage 3, I had to use Xavier. Even for stage 5, I had to use Xavier. She's negative affinity there, so she's not that great. Sometimes I had to even take her out and bring in a, what's his name now? This champion that has shield. Let me quickly check my champion pool again. This shield champion, Brogni, yes, under priest Brogni, just to make sure that the champions who is doing the poison damage, in that case it will be only this champion, these 2 champions don't die. So you can bring in extra support, extra survivor, which is maybe a Brogni, maybe even this champion that revives the champion where they go down. What's her name now? Skytouch Shaman, right? Skytouch Shaman. So she can also be brought in right there to revive with her passive and also with her active skill. Maybe she's in my vault right there. Oh, Godseeker Aniri, not Skytouch Shaman. Godseeker Aniri is who I meant, with her passive revive. So if you don't have a Duchess to do your revive, definitely somebody like an Arbiter will not survive in this battle. So you have options of bringing a Python or a Duchess, whichever one you have as your default revive champion. Seal the Drake, I'm not sure she belongs here. Like I said, this is an end game content, so if you just end game, that won't be enough. You need a little bit of tankiness, a little bit of survivability to do enough damage to the boss, because you can reduce his turn meter, you can put slow speed on him, so he will take a turn eventually. You will die if you don't have enough HP. That's why I have these tanks coming in and these squishier champions doing the damage. Those are the 2 things you need. Champions who can go through the waves fast with 4 poisons, 8 poisons, and explode them fast. A seer maybe would do it even better. And then people would use a seer, include a seer with their champion who does block revive Lydia, so she has enough buffs that seer can rip off. All right, that's my team and other teams that you can possibly use in place of these champions to get it done. I explained why I brought it up here. Now, the person that can replace Gnishak, who I think is even better, well, for the boss battle, I think Gnishak is better. But one champion I'm currently looking forward to adding to my team collection is still in his early stages and currently being built. And his passive helps a lot, and he gets through the waves a lot faster. So that's Carvalax, and I pulled him recently in the last Secret Shard 2x pools, and I've booked him up, and I've used him even at lower level where he is right now. He's currently level 37. I run out of brews. If he's booked, he's mastered, he's everything, but I can't use him yet because he's 37. So by the time I have him a little bit higher, so he won't be going down to one shot from the wave content or from the boss, then I'll replace him with Gnishak, or maybe this dude wouldn't be required anymore. My Carvalax will replace Eurogrim, so the boss can always have excess poisons coming in right there. All right, I've explained this team. It's important that you head over to the boss Tainted Hellrazor guide and strategy and show and read a little bit of what damage the boss does, how his skills come about, and so you can plan ahead and know that you need decreased attack for this battle. That's something else that Gnishak brings to this battle that no other champions who does poison might bring. So that's another advantage. So if you don't want to be dying, so this how it works, he explains a little bit about the boss strategy and how best to beat him. Poisons right there, and yeah, you will get a lot of poisons on you. Make sure you cleanse it. And yeah, just read this on your own time so you have a little bit of idea and about how the boss was. It's time for me to run the battle, and at the end I'll show you the stats of this champion. And remember, like I said, this is not a fast speed team, but 3 minutes, 4 minutes, it's okay for me to start this all night, wake up in the morning, and the dungeon tournament or dungeon event is done. I'm not trying to farm this at super fast speed like I do 40 seconds for the spider. This is not the content I want to speed farm. Even at stage 25, I use a solo farmer with food. So I'm hoping one day I can find a solo team, 1 or 2 teams, 2-man team that can do it with food. For now, I'm not willing to build a full team to do it in 20 seconds, 30 seconds. No, I want to solo the dragon or 2-man the dragon. But for now, I just want to put this team together to get me through this ongoing fusion for dragon tournament or event that is going on. All right, let me run the battle. Super raid is turned on, so but make sure your team is 100% successful before you turn on super raids. That's why I have a Duchess in there to make sure that it's not successful sometimes and fails sometimes. No, the wave content, of course, Duchess is useless here. She kind of delays me. And if you check out, my Xavier will not go in with a poison explosion right now. Check, I delayed my Xavier by 1 turn. I told her to start with her A2 so we can have a full poison bar for all the enemies before she can now go in. I did that because I'm sure that these enemies will not be able to kill me because I have a Duchess who has already placed block, debuff buff on all, some shield and all that good stuff. So we are safe from these enemies' first hits that they are doing right now. On a fast team, you will not let your enemies take a turn, but I let them take a turn because I didn't want Xavier exploding 2 to 3 poison, and I don't have decreased defense or weaken on them. Although I've not tried to see if she can explode 2 poisons with Hex though, to see if that would be enough damage to clear them. I also did not bring in a Prince Kaima in here or a Renegade to reset me to start again because that spot is being occupied by a Duchess. So a Duchess is keeping the team safe, but at the same time is making us a little bit slow in the run. It's fine to be a little bit slow. 1 minute to beat the first wave, and now even if somebody dies, we can go again and do the second wave. People will go down and they will be revived by by Duchess. No problem with that. Duchess doesn't waste her revive, but if you bring in a Python in here, he might waste his revive if you don't set the right presets. Even when nobody is dead, a Python does use that revive. I think the revive is tied to a cleanse, I forget. Alright, that's enough poison for Xavier now to go in with the explosion she has waited enough for her to get back around to her skill. You might want to maybe use those masteries that helps her reduce the cooldown of her skills. That would help her to get around it fast maybe. And where's the explosion? At 2 minutes, there it is. So it took a while, but she finally got around to it because I didn't have a champion to reset her skills. All right, now it's time for the boss battle. I told this champion not to start with her cleanse. Now we have the poison on us. Now she can do the cleanse. I'm talking about Mitrala Life Bane. So in the earlier stages, the boss does not start with the big hits. It starts with this Hellrazor breathing fire. So, but in this last stage of 10, he starts the battle with a big hit. So it was kind of confusing for me when I found out the boss does not go into his breathing of air in the stage 10. But we took the damage of the first wave. We survived it by reviving anybody that went down, and now it's time for us to do the damage to the boss. Check out, I also said Xavier not to use an explosion. If Xavier explodes all these poisons, it won't be enough damage compared to when the poison ticks by themselves. So if you have a Xavier poison explosion, or Eleonora, you want them to leave the poisons where they are. Let the boss take a turn, the poison will all tick. But if Xavier explodes it, there's a maximum amount of damage she can do to this boss, and she will not do the maximum amount she's supposed to do, like for wave content. So that's something to note, that let Xavier or Eleanor not explode this poison. So I turned off her poison explosion for the boss stage 3 in the presets. So check out all the poison that Gnishak is placing. He's a crazy poison guy. And I guess somebody in here can also increase the duration of poison. That is it Kale? Yes. Ultimate, not Ultimate Kale now. Dark Kale, I think that's his name. Dark Kale is a champion that is kind of underrated for my account. A lot of people hype him up for Dungeon 25. I tried him for Ice Golem, but I never really enjoyed him. Maybe because I've already been used to explosion team. I just felt like he was delaying my runs. So he can come in here and make those poisons tick faster. So that's something to note. He might be not that useful for the wave content, but Dark Atel. Is it Atel? No, it's not. It's Kale. Dark Kale can definitely place and explode some more poisons than normal. And that's a mythical gear right here, which is why we're here. It is a very low chance, but you do have the chances of dropping it. If this is live, even if it's lifesteal, I have some champions rocking old lifesteal that needs to be better and replaced so they can maybe be in line with the current time. So eventually this mythical and new gear and legendary gear will replace all our 5-star, 6-star rare, or even some of the epic gears that we have 6-star. So that's the team. I'll head over to the RSL helper right here to show you this champion that made it possible and the stats that I put on this champion. The first champion in the leader slot that is boosting my speed a little bit because I didn't want to, rebuild my champions, is a 263 speed Eurogrim. Originally he was in a different set, but I put him in a regen set just so he can sustain a little bit for that dragon fight. And if you don't have a reviver, a regen set will keep your team alive if they survive those big nukes, of course. And accuracy that you need for this dungeon boss, if I head over back to this edit page, I didn't need to do this, but let me just go back. You see the required number of accuracy for this battle in RSL Hopper. Let me go back. You see the dungeon boss. Let me just do as if I want to start the battle, and I think RSL Hopper should show me the battle. It's not showing the enemies I want to fight. Normally it shows you the enemy you're about to fight. Why is it not doing it this time? But anyways, the boss is about 350 accuracy. No, the boss is about 350 resistance or 340 resistance. So bring in 350, 355 accuracy so you can be able to land your poisons on this boss or decrease attack or whatever you want to place on it. So if I head back to RSL Hopper, you'll see that all these champions that are in here do have above 350 accuracy. Resistance is not that important right here, but if you want to add it, good. You can see that a block debuff buff is important, kind of, so we don't have decreased attack on us and we're not taking that much of debuff from the boss. I don't think the poison can be resisted though. I don't know. I think the stun cannot be resisted too. But I think Duchess has helped me resist the stun sometimes. I don't know yet. I guess it depends on whether you knock the boss down, whether you clear his Hellrazor or not. For Mitrala, this is my old build that I used. You can also see the masteries right there. She does have this blessing that helps a lot. If you land this blessing with enough accuracy, you will do more damage. And she's at 4/112 accuracy right there, just enough to land whatever debuff in the entire wave content and the boss. So that's her stats and the gear on her. She's built for arena, and I did not regear her for this content. And Gnishak is rocking a bunch of random sets that I put on him just to get high attack and high attack. That's not even enough attack, but I needed also high accuracy. And it's not the normal Gnishak you see in Stone Skin. So this is not a Gnishak I've started using in the arena. This is just a Gnishak I put gear on him because I needed him to be in 3v3 arena sometimes. So but Stone Skin is still the best set for this champion, but I put random sets on him because I'm not ready to use him for that content right now. I think I use this other poison champion. I use another champion who does what do you call this thing, bombs, before Gnishak came about. I forget his name. Duchess is also my clan boss build. I did not regear her for this content. Her resistance is good for clan boss, but she does require somebody to protect her sometimes. She cannot be resisted against some champions who do increase accuracy or something. She does have high HP stats and some good defense, so she can survive this hit. So she's able to survive when the boss does his big hits and then revive everybody back. Her revive is very always available, and she does have this masteries, support and defense 3, no damage on her. So that's my Duchess, booked fully also, so that revive will always available. And also finally Xavier, or you can use Eleanor in this spot also. Poison explosion champion, high attack of course is needed, high crit rate and crit damage as much as I could. 232 accuracy is not enough. That's why she's getting resistance sometimes. Remember, this was my Dragon 25 champion Xavier, and I have not regeared her for this content. So you need about a little bit 350 accuracy for her to land her poisons on the boss, and she does land it sometimes surprisingly, even with her 232 accuracy right there. Surprising. All right, that's my Dragon team. I just wanted to share it, guys, share it with you. How long did I take on that battle? I think my best time is about 3 minutes or so. Yeah, 3 minutes or so. I think I've done 3 minutes 20 seconds, 3 minutes 40 seconds. It just keeps getting better. So if the run is failing, don't hesitate to take out one of these damage champions and replace that champion with another sustained champion like what's his name now, Brogni, or some other champion that can keep your allies alive. I'll run it one more time so you see the final time. I think I did 3 minutes 40 seconds. I didn't look at the clock, but it's full auto and it can run all night. So remember, this is not a super fast speed team, and I did not regear this champion because I'm looking forward to building a solo or duo champion that can take this down in the future. For now, I just put this team together because of the ongoing Dragon tournament. So let me know in the comments below what champions you're using for this new hard mode dungeon of this Dragon. I know it's the easier one. I think some people say it's easier than the spider, but the spider I think it's easier because of that bug that makes you do so much damage. Enemy max HP works tremendous in the spider. So spider is much more easier than this, and they survived the hits this time. Why? I think the spider is much easier than this Dragon, but yeah, this Dragon is the second easiest. And as we go along, as I do a bit more of these dungeons, the next one I think is Ice Golem that I'll be showcasing for you guys. I've not tried it. This is the first time you're seeing me. I beat these teams yesterday. I put this team together yesterday and I'm showing you today. So Ice Golem, when it launches, I'll also put a team together. Of course, taking opinions from every other content creator that have put content out there about this dungeons, these new dungeons, but it doesn't always work in your favor because you might not necessarily have all the champions they are telling you to use. So I'll suggest you head over to the Elhade Artifact Extractor team optimizer, I think, and check out which teams that others are using. It shows you perfectly, like I showed you in that Dragon video. it shows you the teams you can use in this type of content, and so you can get through it fast. It recommends teams for you based on the champions you have, which is awesome. All right, let's head over to the boss. I think this one will be a little bit faster than the previous ones because I did not kill off the first wave immediately, and that made us get our poison explosion faster around. It's still a 2 minutes run in this first and second wave. Oh, it has gone a little bit over 2 minutes. Come on, take a turn and die. I just wasted my poison right there, which is not even required, but all right, let's go to the final boss. This would be a little bit more than 3 minutes. I just know it. Just one poison. See, Gnishak is getting resisted sometimes too. I mean, one bomb. See, I put that blessing, and that's the cleanse you want to see. You always want that cleanse to happen so the boss doesn't hit you harder next time. He does have increased attack on himself, and those who bring somebody like a Prince Kaima into this team do attest that Prince Kaima can actually clear that increased attack that the boss has on himself, and that will mean you will take less damage and you will survive. And if I had decreased attack on him from Gnishak, I might have survived that hit, but no problem, we do have a revive and we're not scared. Ooh, we went down again. Damn, that was too fast. That's why I have what's his name now, this champion in the leader slot that can still place poisons. If nobody gets revive, 2 of them can do it. They have 2 poisons, and of course, what's her name now, Mitrala also have 2 poisons, and hopefully we can land those poisons before this boss can get back to his big nuke. He's gonna take them down again. Come on. I'm waiting for him to do his Hellrazor so we can place more poison, but he just keeps doing his A1. We're gonna survive this one too, no problem, but we can't do much damage. See, we're able to block that stun. You see, the stun landed only on Mitrala. 2 more poisons. Revived. This time we can land some poisons before he will get a turn. Hopefully. Nope. Went down again. The more the fight goes on, the more damage he does. You can begin to see my Duchess taking a little bit of more damage the more the fight goes on. So you want to end it as soon as you can. So my best time right there is 3 minutes 15 seconds if everything goes right. And then the worst time right there is or a 5 minutes 6 minutes run sometimes. So that's my team for the dragon. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one, if it helps you build your dragon team. And like I said, I'd like to hear your suggestions about which champions you're using for this battle. Remember, this is not an early game content, so if you can do it, stay at 25, stay at 24 is the best for you. So don't waste your energy here if it's a 50-50 or even 80% success rate. No, stay 25, stay 24. If you're new to raid, level 20 content is where you should focus your attention on, not this end game content that is more of like a flex. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to hit like in this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel for daily raid Shadow Legends content. Later, guys.